All right, this is the video for the compound conditionals worksheet. All right, so first thing we want to understand, all right, is there are two values that Boolean expressions will evaluate to in a program. They are true or false. All right, so true is going to be capital T, right? Notice how it changes color, right? And then false is with a capital F, right? So those are Boolean values, right? So Boolean values are either true or false, all right? So now, what does the and test? All right, so remember, the word and, okay, is one of our special words, remember, and that is going to test whether or not the two Boolean values are both true, okay? What does the or test? Remember, the or is going to test whether or not one of the two or both of the values is true. And then not, right? Not is going to negate whatever is inside of it. So for instance, if I say not, and then I put true, what is not true? Well, not true is false, right? So it's going to negate that. And if I said not false, right? Well, then obviously that is going to become true. All right. So that is going to negate whatever is inside of it. All right, so let's take a look at some of these. Now, I'm going to print each of these, right? But what we're going to do is we are going to have two tests. So first one, 7 less than 9 and -5 less than 0. All right, so what is going to result from this? Now, first thing we want to do is we want to say, okay, 7 less than 9, is that true? Yes, that is true. -5 less than 0. Is that true? Yes, that is true. All right. And so if true and true, right? So that means they're both true. And so then this overall statement is true if both of those are true. And so when we run it, we get true in the canvas. All right, let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay. All right. So all right, that's our first one. All right, so next one. What about 7 less than 9 and -5 greater than 0? So now 7 is less than 9, true. -5 is not greater than 0, so this is false. So true and false. Well, both need to be true in order to be true, so I hit run and I get false. All right, next one. How about 7 greater than 9 and -5 greater than 0? All right, so 7 greater than 9? No, that's false. -5 greater than 0? No, that's false. So false and false, well, remember, those are both false, and so overall, it is false. Remember, what needs to be the case for an and? Both things need to be true in order for the result to be true. All right, so next one, let's take a look. 7 greater than 9 and -5 less than 0. Well, 7 greater than 9, false. -5 less than 0, true. False and true, well, it is going to end up as false once again because remember, both things need to be true in order for the and to be considered true. All right, let's keep moving. All right, now I have, okay, so now let's get into an or statement. Okay, so now let's change the and to an or. All right, so now I have 7 greater than 9 or -5 less than 0. All right, so 7 greater than 9, that is false. Okay. -5 less than 0, that is true. So now with an or statement, one of the two or both needs to be true. So one of these is true. So now when we print this, we're going to get true, right? Because one of them or both was true. All right, next one, 7 greater than 9 or -5. Let's change that. Greater than 0. So now 7 greater than 9, false. -5 greater than 0, false. So now this one's false, this one's false. Neither of them is true, right? So we're going to get false, right? So a false with an or will mean that both were false, okay? All right, next. All right, let's go to 7 less than 9 and -5 less than 0. All right, so 7 less than 9, true. -5 less than 0, true. So remember, this true, this true, so both are true. So remember, the or is an inclusive or, which means that one of them could be true, the other could be true, or both could be true, right? And so, of course, when we run it, we get true. Okay, let's keep moving. How about this next one? Print not 7 less than 9. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this. All right, and so now I need an extra set of parentheses. So I have not 7 less than 9. All right, so 7 less than 9, that is true. So now this says not true. So what should display when we print? We get false, right? Because not 7 less than 9. So that means not, well, this was true. So we're going to negate that. All right, what about the next one? A little bit more complex. All right, so now 7 less than 9. So let's change that to 7 greater than 9. Okay, or -5 greater than 0. All right, so now let's think about this. 7 greater than 9? No. -5 greater than 0? No. So neither one of those is true. So this statement is false. So now not false is going to give us true. So the overall statement ends up being true. Okay, so now let's look at some examples of some code here. All right, so I'm going to bring some code over. All right. All right. So we have this variable weight. All right, I got to fix some indenting here. All right, so we've got this variable weight, and it's going to ask for you to enter text input, enter weight. All right, perimeter, enter the largest perimeter. All right, okay. And so now this says if weight is greater than 50 or perimeter is greater than 200, print there is a $25 charge, else print no charge. All right, so what does this code output if we enter 60 and the perimeter entered is 190? All right, so let's run it. Okay. All right, so we're going to enter 60 for the weight, and we're going to enter 190 for the perimeter. All right, so what happens? Well, it says there's a $25 charge. Why? Well, 60 weight is greater than 50, right? So this is true. The perimeter was not greater than 200, but we're using an or. So if one of those two is true, then this is going to execute, and you'll notice we got a $25 charge. All right, so let's run it again. All right. Okay, where did we go here? That's not what I wanted, sorry. All right, so let's run it again. All right, so now the next one, we're going to enter 60. All right, and now we're going to enter 210. All right, so once again, let's bring up our console. All right, I once again got there's a $25 charge. Remember, I entered 60, which is greater than 50, and I entered 210, which is greater than 200. They were both true, right? And so if either one or both is true, then this will execute. All right, so now let's run it again. Okay. And I keep losing my run button. All right, so now let's run it again. All right, and let's enter 40. And let's enter 190. All right, so now what happens? Well, no charge. Why? Because both weight is not greater than 50, right? It was less than 50. And perimeter is not greater than 200. It was less than 200. And so the else executed, and we got no charge. Okay, let's bring another one in here. All right, so let me copy this code. All right, so let me fix a couple of these. All right. All right, let's see. I've got an extra comma here. All right. All right, so now it says on mouse press, right? If mouse Y is less than 200 and mouse Y is greater than 0, all right, uh, then we're going to draw this circle, right? So what happens if the user clicks at 100, 300? So 100, 300 is about here, right? What's going to happen? Okay. All right. Let's see. I have a slight error here. Oh, all right. I apologize. All right. So if I run it now, okay. So if I click somewhere up here, I'm going to get my red circle, right? Because mouse Y is greater than 0 and mouse Y is less than 200. But then if I click down here, I'm going to get my blue rectangle because mouse Y is less than 400 and mouse Y is greater than 200. All right. So what happens if the user clicks at 100, 300? Well, 100, 300 is about here, right? So I'm going to get that rectangle. What happens if I click at 100, 100? So somewhere around here, I'm going to get that red circle. If I click at 300, 300, so somewhere around here, right? If I click at 300, 100, somewhere around here, right? But now what if I click at exactly 200? So if I go to exactly 200 and 100. So right here, I'll try to go exactly look at in the bottom corner there, 200 and exactly 100. Okay, this is difficult to do. All right, so I'm going to get that red circle there, right? But now, what happens if I click at exactly where a Y is 200? Okay, so if I click at exactly Y is 200, let me see if I can get there. Notice I don't get anything, right? Because Y is never 200, right? So here mouse Y is less than 200. Here mouse Y is greater than 200. So that means exactly Y is 200, I get nothing. All right, so that is it for compound conditionals. All right, and so now what you want to do is you want to do the right side required practice.